it is beyond my distinct honor to introduce the 42nd President of the United States, President Bill Clinton. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Neil. It's good to be back. I did win 2 Grammys. I also have a date tonight who won a Grammy herself. Hillary came with me, and I'm very glad she did. I loved music here at first. You know, when I was young and had illusions that I might make a living as a musician, I used to carry my tenor saxophone mouthpiece with me. And by the time I was 16, I could pass for being of age. I have played on a lot of dives. I've played in a lot of places. And I learned a long, long time ago that musical gifts are widely shared. And that a lot of devoted, loving musicians will never make enough money to maybe even support a retirement, and certainly not to support themselves if they have any one of the setbacks that have been discussed tonight. So I am profoundly grateful for what you've done. I saw it after Katrina, when the history of Dixieland and the birth of jazz was wiped out in New Orleans, and I've seen it all over America, so thank you. I also want to say how honored I am to honor the band whose famous song, Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow, has been played for me more than Hail to the Chief. So I'm here because I have to be. I owe them more than any of you do. And I wouldn't miss it for the world. But I think it's fair to say that all of us, as you could hear from the wonderful songs that have already been sung tonight, have been touched by more than one of the songs Fleetwood Mac has given us over the decades. They become part of the fabric of our lives. All of us have some song or another that means something to us. And that's really how I found them all over again as a grown-up. June of 1991, I flew to Los Angeles. I was the governor of Arkansas. I was thinking about running for president. It was a fool's errand that my opponent, the incumbent president, had a 75% approval rating, and nobody but my mother thought I'd have a chance. Hillary and Chelsea were still undecided. And I was out there to give an education speech. And this bright-eyed 19-year-old boy picked me up to drive me to my speech. And he looked at me and he said, "You gonna run?" It wasn't even a political event. I said, "I don't know." He said, "Well, I think you should, and if you do, this ought to be your campaign theme song." And this is back in the Stone Age, you know, we all had tape decks, and he flipped a Fleetwood Mac tape in and started playing Don't Stop. And I remember my first reaction was not, "Oh, that's perfect." My first reaction was, "You weren't alive when that song was He said, I know, but it's made for today. And so it was, and they let me use it as a theme song. And I've been trying to live by it ever since. Then Fleetwood Mac performed at my inauguration. Then, just 2 weeks before I left office, they came back for a farewell appearance on the South Lawn of the White House, just to say goodbye. I owe a great deal to all of them. I told Mick backstage that I still have the drum head he autographed for me. It's tacked onto the wall of my music room, and every time I honk a bad note, I look at it. Stevie came to the 10th anniversary of my foundation on my 60th birthday. The songs that they and Lindsay and Christine and John have given us will outlive all of us, thank God. They are amazing people. And they remind us that none of us got here on our own. I am grateful that Mick said that earlier. This is a joint endeavor, whatever it is. A friend of mine, now deceased for several years, once said that every politician's weakness is they want you to think he was born in a log cabin he built himself. Most musicians know that it's a team sport. And for all the individual genius on earth, it takes a lot of people to bring the show on. So thank you for taking care of them. And thank you for honoring Fleetwood Mac. They've meant a lot to a lot of people. And they still, as you will soon see, can bring us to our feet, put a song in our heart, and remind us never to stop thinking about tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2018 Person of the Year award goes to Fleetwood Mac.
This is where I have to stoop down a little low. Thank you, Mr. President. And a heartfelt thanks to Music Cares for this incredible award, which is apparently too heavy to lift up, so us lightweights were warned again. No, don't do it, Chris. No. So for all of us in Fleetwood Mac, this is a huge honor, and deep thanks from us in Fleetwood Mac to our management team, Carl Stubner. Oh, there it is.